Section. Introduction. We're going to delve into a groundbreaking paper that revolutionized the field of sequence-to-sequence modeling tasks by introducing the transformer model. This model set new standards in language translation, as measured by the BLEU score. The transformer's attention mechanism is its secret weapon, allowing it to establish long-term dependencies in sequential data. This means it can focus on every element in a sequence, something that previous network architectures struggled to do without a significant computational cost. Our study is inspired by previous research that explored the possibility of training simpler, shallow feed-forward networks to mimic the behavior of more complex deep convolutional networks. We decided to apply this concept to the original transformer model, focusing on language translation using the IWSLT2017 dataset. Our goal was to see how well standard shallow feed-forward networks could model attention mechanisms by replacing key attention components with feed-forward networks trained to mimic their behavior. Our findings suggest that shallow feed-forward networks can effectively learn the behaviors of transformer attention modules and replace them without significantly impacting overall performance. While this doesn't necessarily give us a competitive edge over established methods, it does provide a new perspective on existing techniques and potential alternatives. The transformer architecture is made up of stacked encoder and decoder blocks that use attention to process input data. The encoder layer has one self-attention block, while the decoder layer includes both self-attention and cross-attention blocks, merging the data processed by the encoder and itself. We used this model as our baseline, or teacher model, and used the intermediate activations of its blocks for knowledge distillation in the training of the feed-forward networks. We conducted a comprehensive study of potential replacement methods, focusing on self-attention layers in all 6 encoder blocks. We proposed 4 different levels of abstraction for replacing the original encoder attention. These were attention layer replacement, ALR, attention layer with residual connection replacement, ALRR, attention separate heads layer replacement, ASLR, and encoder layer replacement, ELR. We trained all these architectures in 5 different sizes, ranging from XS to L. After finding that ALR was the most effective approach for replacing encoder attention, we applied the same procedure to decoder self-attention and cross-attention replacement. This required adaptations of the previously introduced architectures due to the different types of attention in the decoder. We used the BLEU metric to evaluate our work, as it's a standard metric for language translation tasks. Our results spanned 4 subsets of the IWSLT 2017 dataset. We calculated BLEU scores relative to the baseline score of every experiment and then averaged them over the datasets. In terms of encoder replacement, all our proposed methods achieved competitive results compared to the baseline. However, the ELR approach performed the worst, likely due to the simplicity of the replacement model, which discarded all the encoder structures that aid training. The full transformer replacement approach, where only the ALR method was used, showed that feed-forward networks could successfully replicate the decoder self-attention behavior. However, the performance on decoder cross-attention was comparatively worse. This could be because the feed-forward network lacked the expressiveness needed to describe the more complex mapping and interaction between sequences used in the cross-attention block. This also affected the final evaluation scores for the fully attentionless transformer. However, all the replacement approaches had the downside of requiring more parameters. Another drawback of our replacement of the attention with a fixed-size feed-forward network was the model's reduced flexibility in terms of the length of sequences it could handle.